and old. We also saw King Charles III officially sign an oath. Then we also saw the Prince of Wales, his son Prince William, and his wife, the Queen Consort Camilla, witness and also sign off on those documents as well. Outside, we saw a crowd gathering, 1,000 people to witness this historic moment, and there was a public proclamation that was spoken or made out to the public down in the courtyard there, and they were all filming on their mobile phones to make sure they captured every part of this moment. There was also a gun salute and a rendition of God Save the King. All this happened just down the road from Buckingham Palace, from where you are, Ali, at St James's Palace. Certainly an historic day here at this location.
Yeah, Tracy, it is when tradition meets the modern age, isn't it? Thank you. We'll come back to you shortly. And proclamation ceremonies will be held back home in Australia. Let's go live to our reporters, and first to Bianca Balzer, who's in Sydney. Bianca, how will the proclamation ceremony play out there?
Ali, good morning to you. Well, it will all start here at Government House, where Premier Dominic Perrottet and his ministers are expected to meet with the New South Wales Governor Margaret Beazley to formally advise her to proclaim Charles III as new sovereign and essentially as King of Australia. Now, that will be followed by a ceremony down the road outside Parliament House at 12:30, and that is open to the public. In fact, the public are encouraged to come. Public transport has been made free so that everyone has the opportunity to be there to witness this moment in history. There will be a touch of that pomp and pageantry you're seeing over in the UK. There'll be horses, there'll be a 21-gun salute, and the New South Wales Police Force Band will actually be there to play the new royal anthem, God Save the King. Now, with all this in mind, mourning for the Queen still continues. I'm here at the makeshift shrine that's been put up outside Government House, and people have been coming to visit and just take a moment to remember the Queen and pay their respects, as the monarchy really today marks a new era.
OK, thanks for that, Bianca. We're going to go now to Nick Kelly, who's outside Government House in Brisbane. Nick, the ceremony is just a few hours away.
Yeah, it sure is, Ali, and good morning. 1 o'clock this afternoon, the ceremony gets underway here at Government House, involving the Governor of Queensland, the Premier and senior members of Cabinet. The Governor will stand on the front steps here at Paddington and officially proclaim King Charles III as our monarch and new head of state. Now, they will then, after that, move to Parliament House under police escort and repeat the proclamation there at 2:30. This will all play out in a very similar way to the way it did back 70 years ago, when the late Queen Elizabeth II was proclaimed as the new monarch all the way back then. Now, this will of course be covered on Channel 9 and live streamed online, but members of the public are more than welcome to come here to Government House in Paddington and see for themselves. People have been coming here over the last couple of days and laying flowers and paying their respects to Her Majesty. But Ali, these gates will open here very shortly at 9 a.m. and stay open until 3 o'clock, and will open every day next week so that people can come in, pay their respects to Her Majesty, and also check out the residence of the King's representative here in Queensland.
Thank you for that, Nick. And I mean, we are seeing Aussies from right around the country coming out and paying their respects. We'll go to Isabella Stashkovsky now, who is in Melbourne. And Melbourne, Isa, tributes are still flowing there.
Ali, good morning to you. We're at Government House this morning. You can see that people are here still laying flowers, signing that book. We're here with Rebecca, who's just signed that book. What does it mean to you to be here this morning and pay your respects?
I wanted to pay my respects because she was truly a remarkable lady, 70 years on the throne, and I grew up, you know, a monarchist. My father was definitely a monarchist, so I wanted to pay my respects, and, you know, no matter what you think of the monarchy, she was remarkable. So,
Rebecca, I want to ask you about your dad, because we just heard a really great story here. Yes. What is this pub that your dad's built?
So Dad, in the early, late to mid-70s, built a English pub which was the Garage, and it's called the Queen's Arms. Had it opened by the local MP at the time, and to this day, so it's obviously quite a while ago in the 70s, still has the flags flying. Today, obviously, they're half-mast for 10 days of mourning, and people in the neighbourhood have been putting flowers. So it's really lovely, because everyone knows that Dad was very fond of Her Majesty. So, yeah, I wanted to pay my respect.
Thank you so much for your time, Rebecca. And Ali, we'll just show you around here because you can see how many flowers have been laid here. There are hundreds. And people now, as you can see, are coming up, taking a moment to reflect, taking a picture as well. People will actually be allowed to come in from Tuesday into Government House. There will be an exhibition there honouring the life of Her Majesty. They'll be open throughout the week. That proclamation ceremony also will take place here in Victoria tomorrow. Ali, it's expected to start around 11 a.m. and it will be live streamed.
Thanks for that, Izza, because there is so much emotion around this, and from Aussies, the outpouring has been next level. And just arriving here tonight and walking down the Mall and coming to Buckingham Palace, I met a couple from Melbourne, and they were holidaying up north. And so when they heard the news, they made the decision to come here and just to pay their respects to this woman who has been a part of their lives, like for all of us, since the day we were born, and just to pay their respects and to say goodbye to that era and to welcoming King Charles III. So we'll be talking to more Aussies over the next couple of days, but we're going to go now to Jane with the rest of today's news. Jane.
Thank you very much, Ali. Also making news today, 5 people have died after their vessel capsized in New Zealand, with the local mayor claiming he believed a whale had surfaced beneath the boat. Police have not confirmed that theory, but will be able to speak to 6 people, including the boat's captain, who survived the accident. It is believed those on board were photographers on a day trip. Claims this morning that training standards at Victoria's 000 call centre have dropped amid a hiring spree. The Communication Workers Union is warning people could die, with current staff having to correct errors. The state government has pledged more than $330 million on hiring recruits. Novak Djokovic could make a shock return to the Australian Open in January, a year after he was deported over his refusal to reveal his vaccination status. News Corp is quoting government sources saying an in-principle decision has been taken to allow the star to return if he applies for a visa. And Iga Swiatek is the new Women's US Open champion, defeating Ons Jabeur 6-2, 7-6 to claim the title. The world number 1 was far too strong for the 5th seed, capping off a brilliant fortnight at Flushing Meadows for the now 3-time Grand Slam winner. And don't worry, Australia has also picked up some silverware this morning. Storm Sanders and John Peers winning the mixed doubles title in 3 sets. Big congratulations to all of them.
Good to see it.
Thank you, Jane. We'll see you shortly. It's time for your latest weather now. Dan Ansey is in Brisbane this morning. Hey, Dan.
Good morning, team. Yeah, we're still at South Bank, just a little bit back from the river here, commemorating the Queen's affinity with Australia and with Brisbane in particular. 12 trips she made to Australia, 6 of those here to Brisbane, and the last time she made it here was 2011. We want to talk about that trip right after we have a look at your top temperatures around the country as you wake up on your Sunday. Good morning to you if you are waking up in Cairns. Mostly sunny for you, headed for a top of 30. Townsville, sunny and 28. Sunshine Coast, sunny, top of 24. Brisbane, sunny and 25. Gold Coast, sunny as well, top of 23, and sunny for Sydney, top of 21. Sunny also in Canberra, 16 the top today. Showers developing though for Melbourne, top of 17. Hobart, shower or 2, top of 13. Adelaide, cloudy, top of 16. Mostly sunny for you, Perth. Good morning, top of 23 today. Karratha, sunny and 29. In the Alice, shower 2, top of 24, and Darwin, shower 2, top of 32. So Brisbane viewers, in fact Australian viewers in the whole, will remember the 2010-2011 Brisbane floods that were catastrophic here in Queensland. It's estimated $2.38 billion of damage was done, and the Queen visited not long after to talk to those affected by the natural disaster during the summer of that year. She obviously cared very deeply about the people of Australia and Queensland. That was evident on this trip. Overall, that flooding disaster caused a reduction in Australia's GDP of $30 billion, it's estimated, and Wivenhoe, southeast Queensland's biggest dam, reached its fullest ever level, 191% on the 11th of January 2011. The Queen was aware of all of this, and she came here to console people who were affected by the floods, and that was her last trip here to Brisbane and indeed Australia in 2011. We've got more on our royal tour. We're calling it Around Brisbane, checking in with some of the sites that Queen Elizabeth II journeyed to over her tenure as Queen. We'll be back with more in half an hour.
OK, Thanks, Dan. We appreciate the update. Thank you. Let's head back now to London. Ali is at Buckingham Palace. Hey, Ali.
Nice to see you guys. Well, coming up, a royal reunion. We see William and Harry make a surprise appearance together alongside their wives as plans are unveiled for the final farewell to the Queen. This is live from Buckingham Palace and a special edition of Today.